How do you de-escalate? You treat people right. On the back of the card, it says, how do you do that? By showing them respect. And we have a whole class on how to do that. And we have all these cards we use, and I'm not going to go through all the, but every one is a training program. But the most important card we have is the Treat People Right card. And it's exactly what it's supposed to say. It's that very simply, is how do you treat people right? But more importantly for the officers, this is a question officers get more and more often. Have you had de-escalation training? You think an officer might get that when they go to litigation now? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But then what do they say? Well, I learned to de-escalate. Well, that's not a very good answer, is it? So we give them a card to answer it. And I think I just want to go through the card because it's so important. Okay? What? So very simply, you look at the card, you know, it's very simply, is that you had de-escalation training. Well, how are you trained to treat people? What were you trained? How do you de-escalate? You treat people right. On the back of the card, it says, how do you do that? By showing them respect. Mm-hmm. And how do you do that? Because I want to be able to answer that question. It says we see the world through our eyes, we listen with our senses, we ask and explain why. We offer options, let them choose, and we give them an opportunity to reconsider. So you have all these ways we've been trained to do it. And our training involves all that, but when you get done, that's showing people respect. But probably the most important question is, how are you trained to do that? It's called the empathy triad. Do you think in court that your defense, who is defending you, would like to hear that you practice the empathy triad? Because it's all about empathy nowadays. And then we very simply acknowledge their perspective, we seek to understand, we anticipate their needs. But we actually have officers practice this. In our training at VISLAR, we don't just do fire talks, we do fire drills. So I make you do this drill back and forth, so when you go to court, you can look good, sound good, be good, okay? And so that's very important. Mm-hmm. So it answers the second question. But if I start doing this on the street, guess what? It's gonna be better. We like to say we don't like to start with de-escalation, we like to start with non-escalation. How not to start the negative dance. And that's what we start with a universal greeting. So another card talks about how to do a universal greeting. How to say, good afternoon. My name is Deputy Klugiewicz, Markhouse Sheriff's Office. The reason I stopped you today is I couldn't help but notice you're parked in a handicapped zone. I don't see a handicapped sticker. Did you forget to put it up?
Right, not automatically assuming that they did something maliciously.
But I not only I asked, I say good morning, I introduce myself, show respect, who I represent, my legitimate authority for being here. I ask them the question, and then I give it a relevant question. I tell them what they should do, and then I give them a relevant question, how to do it. And so by doing that, I'm going to set the stage. We like to say there's a law of primacy and a law of recency. Primacy, how I start out. Recency, how I finish. And if I do it right, guess what? I'm going to have a much better response from my audience. I'm going to be able to non-escalate many situations, not escalate. Hey, buddy, what are you doing here?
Thanks for watching this clip of the Tactical Breakdown Podcast. To get access to more interviews just like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. Or, even better, come join us on the ILEETA Network, ILEET.network, where you will get access to world-leading instructors, trainers, hundreds of hours of training content designed to change the standard of law enforcement training. We'll see you there.